You are watching Atlantic Television Network Business. This is a network medium of bringing the happenings in the economic sector of society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial, and economic activities from all strata of society. Its delivery is concentrated through the various stock exchanges across the world. News about government economic activities, private sector business activities, laced with experts' opinion, stakeholders' analysis, and correspondence reports. First, the headlines. Stock market, banks sustain positive outlook on NGX.
Nigerian electricity subsidy not sustainable. That's from Group.
Forex, Naira depreciates to 1,230 Naira per dollar in parallel markets.
Hub rises for FG 26 trillion budget as oil price jumped to $81.11.
And insecurity, economic hardship to worsen in 6 states, World Bank.
Still on economy, railway debt services exceed revenue by 1,200%, report.
We'll be back with the details of these stories and more after the short break.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas season, hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time to be a blessing. May your holiday season be filled with joy, laughter, and beautiful moments. From all of us in Morrison Communications Limited, Wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network, we wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
You are welcome back to Atlantic Television Network Business. Now the details. Banking stocks on the Nigerian Exchange Limited maintained their positive trend as the local bourse shed 139 billion naira on the first trading day after the Christmas holiday. The all-share index and the market capitalization dipped by 0.34% to 73,768,000.64 and 40.367 trillion naira respectively. Consequently, the year-to-date gain of the ASI slipped to 43.94%. However, the banking index on the NG marginally increased to 889.15 on Wednesday from 887.60 on Friday. A closer look at the performance of the banking stock showed that the FCMB Group rose by 4.79%, Fidelity Bank 0.95%, Guarantee Trust Holdings Company PLC 0.50%, and Giants Bank PLC 8.75%. Unity Bank PLC shares appreciated by 2.50%, while Zenith Bank gained 0.26% and Access Holdings PLC gained 0.22%. On the flip side, Stanbic IBTC Holdings share value dipped by 6.01%, Sterling Financial Holdings Company PLC shed by 1.11%, FBN Holdings PLC lost 1.04%, and United Bank for Africa also shared 0.39%. Both Echo Transnational Incorporated and Wema Bank closed flat. Market breadth, which is the measure of investor sentiment, was paid 4,291,000,000 units, while the traded value declined by 21.91% to 12.94 billion naira. Sector-wise, investor sentiment was positive. The insurance index led gainers with a 3.06% increase, followed by the oil and gas and banking indexes with a gain of 0.24% and 0.17% respectively. However, the consumer and industrial goods sector experienced declines of 0.15% and will burden on the federal government. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning under President Muhammadu Buhari, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, has said that the federal government had quietly removed all subsidies in the power sector with a plan to gradually end subsidies on petrol. This was necessitated by the fact that payment of subsidy both on petrol and electricity has become an albatross in government finances. Between 2015 and 2020, the shortfall in allowed tariff reportedly stood at about 2.4 trillion naira, averaging 200 billion naira yearly, and in 2022 alone, over 600 billion naira has been paid in subsidies, and it has been estimated to skyrocket to at least 1 trillion naira in 2024. According to him, in 2022, NERC, the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, rolled out the multi-year tariff order that gradually phases out subsidies so that Nigerians can start paying cost-reflective tariff. For instance, the MYTO 2022, the cost-reflective tariff on the average should be 68.42 the 11 discos.
The naira yesterday depreciated to 1,230 per dollar in the power market, 1,225 per dollar last week Friday. However, the naira appreciated to 872.59 per dollar in official Nigerian foreign exchange market. Data from FMDQ shows that the indicative exchange rate from NAFEM sells to 872.55 per dollar from 885.88 per dollar last weekend, indicating a 13.29 appreciation from the naira. Consequently, the gap between the official and the parallel market exchange rate widens to 357.41 per dollar yesterday from 339.12 per dollar last week Friday. The volume of dollar traded on the window increased by 39% to $127.93 million from $92.16 million traded last weekend.
The Nigerian stamps of trade for all commodities recorded a light decline of 0.03 percentage points in the third quarter of 2023. TOT measures a value of the country's trade with other countries, where a decline indicates higher value of imports against exports. The quarter 3 2023 performance indicates a lower rate of decline, with the implication that the fourth quarter Quarter 4 2023 may likely show the indices in positive territory. Findings from the National Bureau of Statistics data on commodity prices indices in terms of trade showed that the TUT has been on the negative trend since Quarter 3 2022 of last year, when it recorded a fall of 0.50 percentage points from an increase of 0.11 percentage points in Quarter 2 2022. In each Quarter 3 2023 commodity price indices and TUT report released yesterday, the NBS said that the all commodity group imports index increased by 0.21% in Quarter 3 2023, and its export index increased by 0.18%. The all commodity terms for trade for July, August and September 2023 stood at 102.46%, 102.47% and 102.43% respectively.
Barely a few days to the commencement of the 2024 fiscal year, hope appear rekindled in the revenue horizon as the price of Nigerian's burning light rose to $81.11 per barrel from $80.78 per barrel in close last week, indicating an excess of $3.15 per barrel against the 2024 budget's reference price of $77.96 per barrel. The nation's 26 trillion 2024 budget benchmark on 77.96 per barrel and 1.78 million barrels per day. DPB was threatened in the past 2 weeks when the oil price became sustainable, trading down to the budget benchmark price. Price of burning light rose to 81.11% per barrel on the Red Sea attack and accumulate in the shipping disruption. disruptions, though failing and speculations in the favor of light price. However, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC) indicated that oil output fell by 7.4% to 125 million barrels per day the month of November 2023 compared to 1.35 bpd in September 2023. This means that the pressure point has shifted to outpoint level as this may determine the realization and the targeted revenue if it persists in 2024. But the newly appointed board and management team for the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has pledged to produce 2 million barrels of crude oil daily from 2024. The chairman of the NNPCL, Pius Akinyeleru, stated, "We have just concluded our inauguration ceremony by Mr. President, and we have assured him of our collective efforts to turn around the fortune of oil and gas."
The Development Bank of Nigeria has won the 2022 Arab Gulf Program for Development Prize Talal International Prize for Human Development for its work on Sustainable Development Goal 8, Decent Work and Economic Growth. The statement disclosed that the bank emerged winner of the first category, having competed with over 100 projects within the same category, cutting away the grand prize of $400 million. It noted that applicants for this award demonstrated how their operations and activities had promoted decent work and enabled economic growth within their community. This aligned with the Sustainable Development Goal 8 that all 119 UN member states had agreed to achieve by the year 2030. Speaking at the award ceremony on the sideline of the just concluded COP28 in Dubai, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of DBN, Dr. Tony Okpanachi, attributed the award to the bank's unwavering commitment to the global drive on green and sustainability. Okpanachi said, "At DBN, we are excited about this grant because it aligns with the agenda and aspirations of the bank to become the primary development finance institution promoting growth through MSME finance and accelerating sustainable socio-economic development in technology, agriculture, health, education, and job creation in Nigeria."
Surplus Energy Place, a leading Nigerian independent energy company listed on the Nigerian Exchange Limited and the London Stock Exchange, has been named Reputable Brand of the Year at the Lagos PR Industry Gala and Award LPRIGA 2023, organized by the Lagos State Chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. The company emerged as winner at the award ceremony held in Lagos last week. The LPRIGA recognizes excellencies and celebrated practitioners in the public and corporate organizations, as well as stakeholders, to boost professionalism and more investment in the practice. Speaking at the ceremony, the chairman Lagos NIPR Comfort Obos Nwankwo said, "The Lagos NIPR has rich history of celebrating excellence and professionalism, of which this year's award spotlight is on game changers who have excellent in their field of endeavors. For us, we will continue to celebrate indigenous contribution to the communication ecosystem propelled by their innovation and creativity." In a remark, the Director, External Affairs and Social Performance at the Surplus Energy Place, Choma Afe, congratulated the NIPR for its consistency over the years in celebrating innovation, excellence, and professionalism in the country's public and private sector.
The Nigerian Ports Authority has partnered with the Apapa Local Development Council area, Lagos, for the provision of clean water to the residents through the Apapa Mini Water Works. Announcing this Tuesday, the chairman of Apapa LCDA, Idowu Sembajo, said the move was in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 6, which ensures the availability and sustained management of water and sanitation for all. Sembanjo explained that the lack of potable water had been a burden to the council and much work had been done with the support of the NPA. Not having clean water was a big issue for us here in Apapa. People sunk boreholes and were unable to get potable water. The cases of typhoid were on the rise, and we investigated the cost down to water, and this is a big project, and we must thank the Nigerian Ports Authority, the main financier that made it possible for our mini waterworks.
And deteriorating livelihood will continue to affect local government area in Borno, Kaduna, Katsina, Sokoto, Yobe, Zamfara states, and the far north of Adamawa state in Nigeria until May 2024, the World Bank has predicted. This is as it disclosed that poor macroeconomic conditions are restricting access to agricultural inputs in the country. This is said to affect cereal production in the country. The global benchmark revealed this in a large food security update. Estimated cereal production for the 2023-2024 top year is expected to be 76.5 million tons in West and Central Africa, which is a 2% decrease from the previous season, but a 3% rise from the average of the last 5 years. Chad, Mali, Niger, and Nigeria are expected to contribute the most to this decline. The Bretton Woods Institution said projection indicates a decline in production from the last year in Chad, Mali, Niger, and Nigeria. This decrease is attributed to dry spell during the growing season and insecurity that limited access to cropland in the Chad, Mali, and Niger, and to poor macroeconomic conditions that have restricted access to agricultural inputs in Nigeria, while overall most of the sub-region areas will remain in the normally food insecure category from November to May 2024. Some areas are classified as stressed and some in crisis.
Car dealers have blamed the high duty rate for clearing imported goods, including vehicles, as the reason 533 units of vehicles with duty-paid value of 2.92 billion naira were seized by the Nigerian Customs Service between January and November 2023. The dealers, while speaking with imported goods at the Nigerian ports, have gone up following the hike in the exchange rate for cargo clearance by the federal government through the Central Bank of Nigeria. It was also reported that the recent hike made it the fourth time the exchange rate for cargo clearance was raised this year. Given an update on vehicle importation in the country, the National Public Relations Officer of the NCS, Abdullahi Maiwada, said that the 533 units of vehicles with paid duty value of 2.919 billion naira was seized between January and December 2023. The number of vehicles seized from January to November 2023 was 533 units, and the duty paid value stood at 2.119 billion naira.
The Lagos Channel has been Calabar Channels has been awarded many years ago. The litigation between the NPA and the contractor handling the project has stalled.
Tech accelerator ALX Nigeria has graduate solutions to Nigeria's employment challenges. After the graduation ceremony held in Lagos, the Tech accelerator reiterated its commitment to equipping emerging entrepreneurs with technology and workforce-ready skills that will boost their contributions to national development. Speaking at the ceremony, country manager ALX Nigeria, Ruby Igwe, hailed the graduates for their resilience in completing the program. ALX maintains a high standard of excellence through rigorous learning and scholarship. You are here today because you have showed commitment and strength.
Naira was collected in the first quarter 2023 as revenue from goods or cargoes, up by 99.28% from the 90.96 million received in first quarter 2022. In addition, other receipts amounted to 34.17 million naira, indicating a decline of 41.2% in. By second quarter, the number of passengers traveling by rail increased to 444,117 passengers, and the volumes of goods or cargoes reported rose to 5,629 tons. Commenting on revenues and statistics body stated in terms of revenue generation, 1.10 billion was received from passengers during the reference period, showing an increase of 83.88% from the 598.74 million recorded in the same quarter of the previous year.
A Nigerian-based gas production firm, Riverside LNG, has said it's in talks to supply gas to South Africa in what would be a first deal between the two countries. Riverside LNG had earlier this year signed a gas export partnership agreement with Johannes Skachus Energy Import AG of Germany and is now looking for deals on the continent. The chief executive officer of the firm, David Ige, said in an interview with Bloomberg, Nigeria has Africa's largest gas reserves as the country has about 206 trillion cubic feet that covers Southern Africa, West Africa, and to all Northwest Europe and the Caribbean and South America broadly. Ige added, South Africa faces chronic power outages with the country's old and poorly maintained power stations unable to keep up with demand. South Africa currently doesn't have a facility to receive liquefied gas. Deliveries from the project won't start until 2027, so there's enough time for import terminal infrastructure, Ige said. We'll be back. You're watching Atlantic Television Business. We'll be back after the short break.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas season! Hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time to be a blessing. May your holiday season be filled with joy, laughter, and beautiful moments. From all of us in Morrison Communications Limited, Wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network, we wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
If you're just joining us, this is Atn Business. The Central Bank of Nigeria has affirmed the safety of funds in